Tuesday's more, I mean, traditionally with part-time players you do a more physical session, and it is based on that. So we do it, the way I like to work is always working to something that we're going to do, or something we need to fix, or a bit of both. So for example, if we're maybe not been defending as well as we could be cross ball, so we'll maybe add an element of that in the session through the week. For Tuesdays, normally I like to keep the session a bit longer in terms of length of time, but also volume and length of the pitches, so everything a little bit longer. I had a wee look at the game from Saturday, jotted down some things, and have a wee chat with Richie Salvetta about session tonight, just on reflection from Saturday's game. Obviously not a great game for a Saturday there, but obviously you need to bounce back, need to look to progress to the next thing all the time. So I had a look at the game last night. Tonight I've actually got a Lowland League meeting to discuss the pyramid structure and what it means for the Lowland League, so that'll be interesting.
Are you going to miss the training tonight?
Good question. Aye, absolutely. Aye, I mean, my job as a coach, but I think Richie's more than capable of coming in and taking the session tonight. I think my job's probably more than a coach as well, because I need to take responsibility and take note of everything else that goes around concerning the club. Normal meeting like this, potentially somebody else would go, but because it's to do with the pyramid structure and the set-up, I think it's important that we have myself or somebody who is full-time with the club going to it. So I'll go down to the meeting tonight. I think realistically we've got to aim to get into the league, the SPFL, by 2025. But I don't think we should shy away from that ambition. I really like the fact that Chris at the time had came out with what was an obvious bold statement, and obviously it's to gain a bit of interest in the club as well. But realistically, I think if we can get ourselves into the SPFL League 2 by 2025, or even a little bit further than that, then that would be absolutely magnificent if we could do that. My tactic changed a little bit in the summer there. I decided to try and meet every player 3 times, and one of the key attributes that I wanted to find in a player was what their mentality was like, how they were as a person, were they a positive person, what did they know about Edusport at the time, what did they know about Caledonian Braves, wasn't quite there at that particular point in the summer even, and were they open-minded, are they open-minded to coach, are they open-minded to getting coached rather, what's their thoughts on the game, what's their family situation like, just get to really know them. So each player I've met between 2 and 3 times, other than maybe a couple of later ones that we brought in. I don't know if there was huge change in football philosophy. We were changing the mindset of, right, we're going to go with more local players, semi-professional players. I think Edusport, it came to the situation where it was turning over players every year, as the business does. I think it's doing really, really well as a business, but could it sustainably compete into the Lowland League when 4, 5, 6 of those teams are really putting serious cash into it on a push to try and get up? I think potentially if you're doing that and turning over the players every year as we had done in the previous 4 years, as Edusport, we would run the risk of potentially getting relegated, and I think once anybody's relegated in this league, it'd be really difficult to come back up. Do you want us? Reggie Salvetta by a long shot. I don't know what to do in that dressing room. I think I'll have a carry on sometimes when I see him on Saturday. Ross the physio. The goal against Spartans, the team goal, I think that's probably going to be our best goal.
So Gaffer, what's your usual start to the morning? It's not all tactics, is it?
It's not. Actually, I would disagree. There definitely is tactics. The first tactic is how we get the children out of bed on time. So that takes a bit of bribery sometimes. Well, next thing, I normally try and start work properly back at 10. Being January, I would like to try and get a run in this morning. I think I will. So I try and start work about 10 back at 10. Thursday's quite a long day. I normally don't get back home till about 10:45. But I can understand why they're bringing that into football in the young age groups. However, to make the best football player possible, the best footballer in the world, an elite player, that player needs to be able to head the ball. You look at Ronaldo and how good he is in there. Whether he done that when he was little, I'm not too sure. But I need to be honest, mate, I probably need to look at it more provide you with a better comment. But for our own point of view, our own position on it, it's something that we would look to support if the guidelines from the FA were that, you know, for a certain age group of players, that there was no heading allowed, or heading with a technique, you know, just doing heading technique with a kind of softer ball, then you would follow those guidelines. But also, I don't know if you can see the freeze frame there, just that's essentially the back five is there. We've got Reedy picking up, Rafi no picking up, John going out to the ball, and their situation where I spoke to you after the game, or yourself, I felt the shape hindered us a wee bit. It hindered us in two ways. First way was defensively, because they played the 4-3-3 with two really wide players, and it caused our back five just to stay in as a back five, which you lose impetus up the park. But also, one of the reasons I play the 3-5-2 is because we're generally better in possession in that shape, but on that particular game Saturday we weren't. Acumen's been really good, it's been a great tool. I can show you, obviously they've got their schedule, that's the video analysis bit that's now got the clips. We've got a recruitment session at the top, we've got a team section that gives the guys stats. Obviously that's our kind of stats on all the guys there. We've got attendance records. We've got different settings for each thing, the schedule obviously as well.
It's the same going back to as well, but the academy we can just do that anytime through the week really.
Yeah.
And also I need videos for the first team players, just a wee video, a 30, 40, 50 second video on them about something that just introduces them to the fans.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so it can be anything but something that makes it human. So Pablo, he knows about that, but Royal need help, because when he organised with the guys, when they're free, when we can be it, how we can be it.
Yeah.
The guys are free on the day or not.
Purpose
See things like this, see exactly where it's at, and you can see,
because I'll show you the preview. I'll show you
that angle, you never get that
I'll show
angle.
you the preview of the new, what it's looking at the new.
So now part of your day is working with Edinburgh Sport Academy. Just can I explain your main role?
Well, one of my main roles is to, part of it is to be on the grass and coaching. Today we've got 4 coaches out on the pitch. I was doing other bits and pieces as you saw earlier on. Today we spoke about our upcoming game. The South teams have a game on Saturday, so earlier on we spoke about the team for that essentially. Because we'll have the goalies right for the start,
Right.
one.
Okay.
So we'll have
Can add them in.
4 teams of 4.
Yeah.
So X is chasing the ball, Circle's resting out.
Yeah.
They can go and score if that 4 win it, they can go and score into there. But they're still thinking like, can I go and play pass, finish?
But you would need to put them into 4 teams, which would go 16. It's a crossing and finishing.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, that rapid attacking game.
Yeah.
Gaffer, talk me through your session tonight.
Yep, 6 elements to what we're doing tonight. Working on 2 things: on the ball, off the ball. We don't have a game Saturday, so there's no so much kind of shape or tactical play to it. But what we do try and put shape into everything within a kind of progressive sort of exercise. So we're maybe thinking about tempo. That one, hitting the goalkeeper, going supporting. It's just building up from the warm up with that thought of tempo, playing forward and movement off the ball. Then we'll go into this exercise here with the goalkeepers, so it's a conditioned type of game with 4 mini goals in there, so it's a 8v4, 4 pressing the ball, 4 win it to go and score, or their decision making is can we score or can we go back and keep it. Components now, we're thinking about size areas. Like I said to you before, we'll keep it a little bit smaller on a Thursday, so it's a bit more intensive. And we're organised, we like to get the kit organised before, so we work from in to out, so smaller possession into a slightly bigger possession into the goals, take that off so we're ready and the session flows into a game. There will be a break up there where we're doing a more physical component of the session, but they know when they're coming back in here, they flow straight back into a setup that's already there. So we're really fortunate to have the full pitch, and we utilise that. It makes it much easier to get a flow into a session. So pitch is pretty much set up. Davey's starting us off a little technical over there, and that'll be us after that into the session proper. Quick thing, see as soon as the goalkeeper gets the ball, every player is in there pressing forward in spot as quick as they can and get into a position. They might not get the ball directly from your hand, but if I think, oh, okay, I can anticipate the ball going to Rudy, then my position is out here then. So we're ready to just go and play. Don't give the ball away, stop it! Give the fucking thing, come on! The session's been good, they worked hard there. There's always wee things that I think they can get better at. Well, what's next, Neil? What's next? Come on. Good. I thought the session was really good. Boys worked really, really hard, but I don't think there's many times I've came off a session and not said that. They're a brilliant group to work with. But it's important that we keep our eye on always trying to progress. So happy with the guys tonight. Well, we're fortunate the fact that we've got a couple of teams in the Southern Counties Cup game has fell on a free week for the Lowland League team, obviously Scottish Cup weekend. So it gave me an opportunity to get a few of the guys a bit of game time. Obviously Jack Breslin coming back for a long-term injury, he's already played 45 minutes. He'll play up to about, I'm hoping 90 minutes, we'll see how we go with that. Kyle and Jack McDowell both need game time, and the Les Jack coming back for an injury as well, Jack McDowell. And Blair obviously coming back for his long term, so it gives us that opportunity, but the guys are fighting fit, more or less ready to go, and I think they can add a bit of experience to the South team. But it's not just the South team players we've got today, is that some of the under-20s who've been performing really, really well, and it gives us that opportunity to mix the teams like we did against Bonington in the last round to good success.
Ben will benefit from the fact that Thursday rest, obviously no day out of the day. Monday we'll keep him at Monday.
And then obviously we'll do something light on Tuesday, because we'll recover with the guys Tuesday, and then Thursday we'll train.
Well, that's it, it'll be a good session for him today and Tuesday, because it's a light and it just builds him up. Apart from that, he's fine, everyone's fine.
Really, the first thing I do is check my phone to make sure nobody's sick overnight. I've had that before a couple of times. Normally by about 10 o'clock. I'll sit down at the laptop, I'll print off the set plays, I'll have a real look at what we're going to do. I've generally got an idea of, well, I do have an idea of what the opposition set plays for and against I've got, so I'll kind of change mine, I'll keep mine certainly an attacking perspective. I'll change them to what I think we can hurt them with. Sometimes actually I go out with my boy for an hour. He sometimes plays on a Saturday morning, so I'll go up and see him if I've got time. If not, my wife will do that, or our oldest boy as well. He sometimes has games. So between that and normally I'll leave about 12:15, 12:30 to get here for 1 o'clock, and then obviously my head's on the game for the day, and just make sure everybody's okay. Speak to Roscoe, any last minute fitness tests that I need to know about. I'll already have an idea of that, but if that's changing the team selection, then I need to have a look at that. Other than that, just make sure everybody's okay, we're organised, I prep for the game, generally write down their strengths and weaknesses for the guys to look at, I write down the team, and then it's into the team talk at 2:05, 2:10 once Roscoe's finished, and then it's into the game after.
So next week the first team of BSC had a fantastic result today against East Kilbride, so what are you thinking ahead of that? You've got a bounce game on Monday for the boys,
yeah,
so
it's a big week for us, so we've got a bounce game Monday, so we've been Monday night at Petershill, we're in Tuesday night, we'll recover and do a little bit of work Tuesday night, and we're in Thursday, and then prepare for the game against BSC. But I'm really excited for it, it's a challenge. They've went to East Kilbride and turned them over and done really well. Fair play to them, you can't argue with that. They've got a very specific way of playing. We've got to match that. And as I say, it's a challenge for our guys. On our day, I genuinely believe that we could go, and I genuinely believe we could beat anybody, I really do, within reason obviously. But I want my players to believe that. And I do believe if they go and be brave on the ball, if they go and be brave out with the ball and be aggressive, I think we can challenge anybody in any one game.